Do side control, so we'll look at a bit of side control from on the top, do some escapes and get the underhook and stuff for the day. So just going to go through a couple of basic little things first, and then we're going to look at getting them out, look at different ways of that. Might be touching on stuff that we've done in the past, but just little tweaks, little things that we've been doing. So, from this position, I don't want Rob having the underhook, ideally. Just like being in half guard, it's not going to benefit me. Sometimes the guy will get the hand in before he can do anything. Cup their elbow. Okay? It makes it harder then. If I stay in this position, Rob can kind of sit up to take that arm through. Okay? So if I find that his arm comes in and I do this quick, I'm leaning on him a little bit, trying to sit up now, it's not as easy. Next thing for me there is I'd maybe be looking at getting the collar and just nice and friendly, put your fist in his throat. Okay? Again, looking to swing this underhook back in. Okay? It's really useful. We've seen how useful this underhook is. The more you use it, the more success you have with it. The counter side to that is you've got to look at dealing with it more. You cannot ignore that. Whether you're in guard, half guard, side control. Okay? So if somebody's got your back, then we can underhook in. That makes a difference as well. So even from here, if Rob's got his hand in looking for the underhook, I've trapped him with his elbow. Even bringing the arm up like this, look, so I've brought his hand as close to his shoulder as he can. He needs a space, he needs a radius or whatever you want to call it as, to be able to push that arm through. So if I can compress that towards his shoulder, this limb now is going to block his path. Okay? And I've still technically got an underhook. Okay? The thing to completely avoid if somebody does get the underhook, resist the temptation of doing this. Okay? You can get reversed and the person can escape. You do feel like you're tearing your own ears off, you can get out of it. Okay? Been over the escape before, but at some point in the future we'll do it again. Okay? So, as he gets that underhook, I'm going to block it straight away. Block it, and as I swing look, I'll come over. So what I'm trying to do is pin Rob's arm to his own body. I don't want him to be able to chase with it. Okay? I'll punch that back through into here. Another thing to be aware of is this arm. Okay? I'll start playing around with this a little bit. There's a big temptation when somebody's pushing on you is to try and pin it, try and move it. Okay? So as Rob pushes into me, he's trying to push me away to create space. Right? How many of you have ever felt guilty where when they do that, you just try and push against it more? Okay? Oh. So as he's pushing me here, I'll lift him up a little bit to sit to me. And drop back down, chest in. Okay? So there, as I'm leaning on, his own arm, his elbow, is digging in his ribs. Okay? Once you get the arm across here, this is where you can start looking at maybe attacking towards the back a little bit more. Then fishing through, finding the elbow, start roll the person through. So I'm already setting up, looking for the collar, seatbelt grip. So I'm going in tight, ready. So if he turns to his knees, I take his back. I'm also looking at the possibility of taking him out. So I'm going to have a little look at getting him out from this situation. Okay? So get this position here. Alright? What I'm going to do from this, slide the hand over. Don't put your hand over somebody's face. Because you can grab that and start looking at a Kimura from underneath. That's bad news for me. Okay? So I always track this on. I'm going to lift the elbow, cup it. Grip the belt here. Okay? I need to sit my weight back a little bit because you've got to be aware I've got both my bases for that direction and then corners occupied. So I can't carry on sitting this way because if Rob turns quick, you can pull me over straight with hips. So I need to be able to react. Be careful in this situation of ending up with your hands trapped under your partner. If you feel that the person's trying to do that, you're far better giving up on it, control the position, control the situation. Don't get sidelined into, I'm on my way here to get in whatever position or submission you're in. Okay? Some guys are very good at just trap things off and leave it at that, so your mind goes back to what you're doing and all of a sudden you're gone because things get trapped in. Okay? So retract this, pull the shoulder up, elbow in, and I just hook the belt. I'm not making a fist grip, because that's going to take a lot longer to let go of. Just hook the fingers in the belt. If I can't do that, just take the cloth, hold the cloth. I can let go to base with. Okay? What I'm going to do from here is grab his trouser leg, and I'm going to bring my hips down to his hips, look. Here. As I sink my hip down, all well. And as I come up, I want to pin, feel as I'm putting my hip and my elbow together. Base up. Okay? Now, this is where he's likely to want to look at the underhook. This is part of the reason why I've grabbed this leg. I don't want to get to this position, and as I'm adjusting, as I get my feet together, if I do nothing about this, Rob can bridge now, kick over. So you can kind of do the reversal that we did last week. You might not stop him bridging, you might not have the strength to be able to pull his leg out of the ground, but what you will do is feel it sooner than catching it halfway as you're travelling. Does that make sense? Yeah? So it's using your grip as a sensory tentacle. Remember, say that careful. Depending on what company you're in, you can make yourself look really silly. So, underhook. Kick. Again, keeping pressure on this one. Here. So I grab the trouser leg first. Then I move the hip in, get close, get the base. And I move back little bit by little bit. And bring the head, get the arm close up to the head. Okay? Now I can play the trick we've done before, where I pull at this to make Rob want to take his leg away. So as he starts to push, I'm going to step quick, turn the feet in, take the hand out of the way, because I might be able to pin this for finish. But as I let go of that, if I can cover that, it's a bonus. If he's got it buried from here, underhook, I really do need this. And what I've done here, ladies and gents, I've got my knee against his hip. Because I want to feel, if he tries to escape his hip away to bridge over, that's another point of contact. That's another way of gathering information of what I'm going to have to deal with next. So here, I can clamp that, I've got my knee against his hip. Some of you will feel my knee's not on the floor, it's slightly off, and I'm actually pushing off my toes. Look how Rob's hip's moving. I'm pushing against him. And then as I'm pulling that, I'm affecting where he can go. He's going to put more into any movement he does. It should give me more of an opportunity to deal with it. Okay? If the person's relaxed, you can also look at this grip. Get the cloth. Again, you're going to encourage him then to kick off. He wants his leg back. So fight against it, and then when he does go, there you go. Again, underhook heel. I'm going to find his elbow if I can. Loop under it straight away. Block that, come behind. Okay? The little things to be aware of. Although you might not stop that underhook, monitor it from the beginning to the end. So even when I got over, I pull on the elbow. I don't want him giving a big bridge. Just as I get my weight over, well, I've done all this, onto there. Just as I get my weight down, I've done nothing about that. I get reversed. That makes sense. So as I step, just popping that arm up. So as I've gone here, just that. Go to underhook again. And misdirect it. He can't take it round my back and send it to the side as well. I try and bring his elbow up. That's altering the trajectory, the direction he can extend his arm. His elbow's up here. So he's got to release that to get the direction going. That's put another step, at least, in his movement pattern. He needs that, these working at the same time. So if I can disrupt that pattern, they're not as efficient. That makes sense, yeah? Right? Quite complex. Get rid of that, deal with it. Again, I tend to do this. I'm getting less and less keen to put my arm under somebody's head. Alright? Because that's something he can use to travel, yeah? Get back on his head. So this, I've always got the option to base, to come up, still doing the job. I can switch from one to the other a lot easier. this, by just blocking the top of the head. I'm at less risk of being trapped where the person can start to use that as a direction against me. So just have a little play with this. We're looking towards mount, we're going to look